Good evening, folks. Last minute sports betting here with the Sports Nuts. What's up? We're brought to you
by
OddsJam, the premier odds comparison company. Don't forget to click those links below for the sports books. There's multiple sports books down there with all kinds of bonuses. I've taken advantage of some of those here recently. They are awesome for the best books in your state. And also, don't forget, there's a link down there for the OddsJam Partner Program, which we are always excited about because you share it with your friends, you get 20% of all the revenue for those who sign up with that link. That is
and real quick, Bob, all hail Caesar Sportsbook. I've been finding a lot of positive EV plays on Caesars today. So if you don't have Caesars Sportsbook, get on it.
It's one of the best. That is for sure. All right, Mike.
And real quick, I don't want to leave out that MGM because there's been several plays there as well. But the number one today, all hail Caesar, guys. They have been absolutely killing it with the spreads that they have on these positive EV plays, which we have been on fire with lately.
You know the dude who is Caesar plays on Curb Your Enthusiasm. He's Larry David's roommate. It's pretty cool. All right, let's talk about Tyreek Hill, Mike.
Okay.
Are you surprised, shocked? He got $120 million, I guess, from the Dolphins. Man, that's one of the most dynamic players in all the NFL. I'm not sure what the Chiefs are thinking, but I think that this is, in my opinion, a bad move.
Well, I think ultimately what they're thinking is they have so many superstars that if they pay them all, they're not going to have money to get anybody else. And it's evident that the trying to bring random guys like Le'Veon Bell to fill the running back position here, you know what I mean? They've got no running game at all. They can't afford to get anybody. And ultimately, I guess they figured, hey, we're not going to be able to afford to pay this guy because Tyreek Hill once paid.
All right, so answer me a question, all right? What happened to Williams, the guy who, in my opinion, the Super Bowl they won should have been the MVP? What, is he just toast now?
Well, I mean, he hasn't proven to be consistent, and he's been unavailable a lot. He's had injury issues as well, which is why you saw LaShawn McCoy. There's another example, random guys that they're bringing in just hoping that they can, rekindle somewhat of what they were, and that wasn't going to happen. And I mean, okay. I think ultimately the Dolphins win this trade by far.
Okay. All right. Let's move on. March Madness. Let's touch on it a little bit. I got a couple of questions for you. The top seed in this tournament that's left that is the most vulnerable, meaning Gonzaga, Arizona, Kansas, or Purdue, even though they're a 3 seed, they are the top seed in their region. Which one do you think's the most vulnerable?
Right now, as we stand, I am going with Gonzaga, and the reason why is because I think they're going to have a tough time with Arkansas. But not only that, let's just say they do beat Arkansas, Bob, which is probably likely, but I do think Arkansas will make that somewhat of a game. What's going to be likely waiting for them on deck? It's going to be a really, really scary Duke team that I think will knock them off if they match up. I think Duke got their bad game out of the way that they had, and I think that they are locked in and ready to roll. Now, can I give you my easiest?
Now, hold on. Let me just tell you something right now. You're talking about Arkansas. Everybody's saying SECULATER nowadays because the SEC has not done anything.
Yeah, they showed up, but they did not show out at all.
All right, so let me tell you my top seed that I think is the most vulnerable, and I think it's Purdue. And I'm going to tell you something right now that you guys may not agree with. St. Peter's defense is a top 25 defense that showed up against Kentucky and Murray State. If they play that type of defense against Purdue, unless the big boy finally has touch, or shows touch around the rim, they have a shot at upsetting Purdue. And if they don't, I don't think Purdue makes it to the Final Four. That's my opinion. All right.
Well, I mean, obviously, if they lose to St. Peter's, they won't be in the Final Four.
The lowest seed with the best chance to make it to the Final Four. I'm going to start this one. I think it's Miami. I was on them in the first round, made a good bet. I think that they have the best shot at making the Final Four. I really, really do. What's your thoughts on that?
I would have to agree. I think they've got a strong enough guard play, and obviously they are good to go with coaching experience. So I think that Miami could most definitely make some noise. And I mean, it starts with beating Iowa State, but I mean, after that, you're looking at them potentially having to match up with Kansas or Providence. So, I mean, maybe, but that kind of goes against my, I think Kansas has got the easier road of the 1 seeds remaining, and I think they will beat Providence ultimately. And Providence shot lights out in their last game. I think Kansas, who also had a little bit of a, bump in the road against Creighton, I think they got that out of the way. They survived, and I think Kansas will ultimately knock off Providence, which will match them up with your Miami team, and I just think Kansas will be too much.
Okay, all right. Let's move on. Let's talk a little bit of the schedule that's going on in the NBA tonight, Mike. Some games that I actually have on my radar, and you probably do too. So let's talk about. Well, first off, we got Utah and Boston. Okay, we talked earlier on OddsJam TV how Boston is a threat in the East. Utah, I'm not really sure what to think about this team, but they have got to see this as an opportunity with the problems Golden State is having right now. What do you think about this game? Is it Boston all the way, or do you see something else?
I mean, you know how high I am on Boston, Bob. There's no two ways about it. The Boston is the real deal, but in this matchup right now, I could see Utah pulling one out because they probably need it more desperately. But if in terms of the better team of these two, there's no doubt in my mind Boston's a better team than Utah by far.
Okay, so the line's 4.5.
I would take that, honestly. I'm high against Boston. I think they've been a really, really good team. And Boston seems to be, let's take a look here. They're better ATS than Utah is. Utah's not very good against the spread at all. For a team that's very good like them and has the talent they have, they don't have a very good record against the spread. So I think that I would feel comfortable at that line taking Boston.
Speaking of a team that's good against the spread, what about the Grizzlies tonight? You can get them at +1 at it looks like Barstool, actually Caesars is -110. You can also get them at +1.5 at -110 on BetMGM. So what do you think about this game? Is this a game that Kevin Durant goes off, or is this a game that Morant and the boys keep under control?
Yeah, I think Durant's going to probably go off because Durant's got this game circled and knows that this is an opportunity to knock off a team in Memphis who is a top dog in the West and considered an NBA title contender. And Durant would probably like to show to his team and show to the world that, hey, I'm still here. And that would be a real big momentum win for them. But ultimately, we got to find out what's going on. What's up with Morant? Is he in? He out?
Yeah, I'm not sure. All right, let's talk about Golden State, Miami. I guess, did you hear Draymond Green kind of went off last night? What was that all about?
I mean, it's just trying to send a message to the team that, look, we need to play ball while Steph is out, because I think ultimately this team probably figures we're going to get Steph Curry back at some point. When you have Steph and Draymond and Clay all in the lineup, you'll be good to go, right? Well, Draymond's looking at that like, no, you guys can't be caught slacking. This is an opportunity for you guys to step up your game. Therefore, when we get Steph back and we're at full capacity, then you guys have your game going and are playing at top of your game, and it makes us that much more dangerous and tough to handle. And I think he realizes that they've got to compete with Steph out because he's not coming back right away.
Is this a good spot for Golden State or not? Because here's the line, man. It's 10. The number is 10. Do you take plus 10 on Caesars at minus 110, or do you take minus 10 on Caesars at minus 110, Mike? You stay completely away from this game.
I'm staying away from this game. Me personally, I'm staying away, and the reason why is because I wonder if Draymond sent the message to his team and they received it. And I ultimately think that Miami's one of the best teams in the game, and against the spread, they've been money as well. So ultimately, Miami's probably covering, but I'm staying away from it.
All right, so now one last matchup, because these are the marquee matchups of the day, and that is Phoenix at Minnesota. The Suns, they're just playing. Even without Chris Paul, they just keep going, man. You can't keep them down, can you?
You can't. No doubt about it. Minnesota had a tough loss against Dallas the other night, so I think Minnesota certainly knows, hey, we've got to get it together, and we can't afford to lose right now this time of year as they're trying to keep pace with teams like Dallas. So I think you can expect Minnesota to come out and play a good game. Ultimately, another game I'm staying away from, except I would say go for the over on this game. There's been a lot of value on the positive EV page for the over.
Okay, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in just a second. Let me tell you what the line is. The line is 1. You can get +1 for Minnesota.
Yeah.
-1.
I mean, it's basically a pick'em game, Bob.
Right,
I wouldn't
pick'em game.
You don't touch that game. That's why I said look at the over in this game, because there is value there.
And we're going to do that when we go to the positive EV page here, Mike. All right, that's how we do things. All right, let's talk about You got to remember who's the host here, son. All right, let us go. Let's get to the positive EV page and look at a few things. But now Mike has been hotter than a firecracker here lately, haven't you? With positive EV plays. So I'm going to let you tell me where I need to go. Then don't say to hell.
No. Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you show the bet tracker and talk to the people about that? And while you're doing that, I'll dig for a positive EV play that's right now. I will share the ones that I do have placed. They are unfortunately not up right now.
Okay, well, I'm gonna add something to the bet tracker right now. Okay,
I think we need to stick with this last second finding a good positive EV.
That's fine, but I'm adding something right now. Under 15.5 player points for Mikal Bridges. I'm adding that to my positive EV or to my bet tracker so I can let people see what it's all about. Okay, that's really, Mike, that's what this is all about. We got to show these people under 15.5 points. You go here, you click that plus sign. I'm going to put $10 on this, and it's going into my bet tracker. And if I go to my bet tracker right now, there are the bets that I have that are pending. And this one I just added. It's on Caesars. Player points, Mikal Bridges, under 15.5, plus 140. So a $10 bet gets me a payout of $24 or $14 in profit. Very cool. And these are my other bets that I have here. I've got Memphis. I pulled this one earlier, +1 point spread. First half. I love this bet. I think it's going to go. And let me go and show you the overview of the bet tracker. $254 profit. I got $160 in pending bets. This is my return on investment of completed bets, 3.3%, and my percentage of bets that I've already placed that beat the closing line value, 59.3%. That's over 50%. That is very good. And then you can see here profit over time by sports book, by sport, and by bet type. That is the bet tracker, and it is 100% free on oddsjam.com. Now let's go back to the positive EV page. And did you see anything at all, Mike, that you want to? What about this Jay Crowder rebounds?
No, don't touch that one. I already saw that one. I'm going to give one out that I just went on ahead and hit.
Okay.
We're going to that Memphis-Brooklyn game, Bobby. We're riding Jaren Jackson over 16.5 player points.
Oh,
we can get that at minus 110 odds, and we can find that on DraftKings, and that's good value compared to what's going on in the other sports books.
Absolutely. I will add that to the bet tracker, and once again show you all before we leave this page how this bet tracker works. These positive EV plays have been really good in the NBA for me.
And let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and throw a little bit on this one too. You know, I love these bets. I've become a really big fan of these PRA bets. We're going to ride Rudy Gobert over 25.5 on the PRA points, assists, points, rebounds, assists. The over 25.5 is being BetMGM's got it at minus 125 is what we're looking at. And if you look around, good odds there also on DraftKings. Absolute great value on that pick. I think that's a good one to hit as well.
It would be nice if I could find old Rudy in here.
Yeah. Well.
Okay. He must be at the top.
No, either that or you just weren't quick enough, brother.
Evidently, I wasn't quick enough, bro. My God. There it is. You're going with the over on that, Mike?
I am.
That's over 25.5.
Yep.
You're putting 20 on it?
I put 10 on that, and let's go ahead. Hey, we just talked about Kevin Durant, what kind of game he's going to have. The lines are absolutely trending towards Kevin Durant over 28.5. And check this, Bob. We got those odds at minus 105 on BetMGM and DraftKings now. Hammer that. Let's throw 25 on that.
Okay, so if we're going to do that, shouldn't we take Kyrie under 27.5 points?
No, I don't touch that. No, I didn't touch Kyrie because you know how it is with Kyrie. He's liable to come out and have 50-something points. But ultimately, I think let's play the safe bet. The lines are really, really trending towards Kevin Durant and the over. I would feel more safe with placing that bet, taking my money, and not risking that evening out with the loss on Kyrie.
Okay. All right. I'll agree with you there. So with that being said, Mike has his lock of the night. By the way, Mike, have you been keeping track? What in the heck is your record?
I won 6 out of my last 7, I think. Let me get to my bet tracker right now and let you know what we got. So we won last night. We won our Jokic over 12.5 rebounds. We hit our Bobby Portis over 8.5 rebounds. We got that at plus 105, so we hammered that.
But you got a lot. I want you also.
Let me finish, Bob. We also hit the PRA points, rebounds, assists on the Jokic over 47.5. I knew it was obvious Jokic was going to have a big day. We also hit, Bob, we hit the DeMar DeRozan under 38.5 PRA, and we got that at minus 116 odds. And then that's all we hit last night, but that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in a row, 8, 9, 10 of our last 11, brother.
Okay, but that's not locks. I want your one bet lock of the night. That's a lock, buddy. Mine is
okay. Well, you got to remember, most of these locks have been positive EV plays.
I just need one.
You want my lock right now? Okay, let's go with it, brother. Mavs, a team that is really good against the spread, one of the best in the NBA, playing a garbage team like Houston. I know they're coming off a big win against Minnesota. I understand that, so it may look like a spot to fade them a little bit. No, they're too good against the spread against a trash team like Houston. We're riding Dallas on the spread, -10.
-10. Woo.
Oh yeah, Houston's going to get mopped. Luka's going to tear him up. I don't have any doubts on that pick.
Okay, all right.
I mean, you're talking about.
It's my turn.
You're talking about one of the better teams, ATS.
You're out of here now. It's my turn. Bob's lock of the night. I'm going to the NHL and the Pittsburgh Penguins -1.5. And this is a beautiful thing here. It's +120 on Caesars, DraftKings, and PointsBet. It's at Buffalo. I think that the Penguins, with the way they've been playing lately, and plus the addition of Richard Raquel, is going to make a difference when them. That's my lock of the night. Mike, you got anything to end with?
No, Von Miller talking to the Rams, or I'm sorry,
Bobby
Wagner talking to the Rams. Von Miller's in Buffalo.
Yeah, he's in Buffalo. He's been there.
Bobby Wagner talking to the Rams. We'll see how that goes, and something to look out for. NFL news.
All right, last minute betting with the Sports Nuts. Hey, you know what you need to do tomorrow? Keep an eye on the YouTube channel. I'm not even sure what time we're going to be on. I know Randall and Steve got their show on tomorrow night. Don't forget, check with all
before us.
All of the OddsJam shows, the morning show, the afternoon show, and the evening show. We'll see you later. Oh, yeah.
Go Mavs.
You digging that?
Go Mavs.
See ya.